Talk Show.
It's the Daily Talk Show, episode 756.
Tully Smyth, welcome back to the show. It's a very special day to have you on because today is also Hump Day.
It is. My favourite day of the week.
Well, we were having a bit of a meeting before the show, and we don't want to assume people watch the Hump Days, but we know fucking people watch the Hump Days, and we didn't want to assume Tully did, but she said, "I've seen them.
Yeah,
I've fucking seen them."
Guys, I'm your biggest fan. I don't always like everything. When I like something, it's because I really like it, but I'm watching everything.
Yeah, so what is your vibe? Because I've, actually, that's a bit of, I was going to mention Grace.
So early, let's do it.
So
Mason's...
I know Grace is with us right now.
We said save it for the show, and you wanted to ask Mr. 97 something, so take it away, Tully.
I'm just a little bit upset. I just feel like I should have gotten a phone call or a text message or, something letting me know that your status had changed, but I'm actually sweating now thinking about it. It makes me a little bit up. What's going on? What do you have to tell me?
We're dating.
You and I. I mean, I wish.
This couldn't have gone worse, to be honest.
Who's dating? You and Grace?
Yeah, Grace and I are dating.
I thought Grace wasn't an issue to me. Gemma told me that I didn't have to worry about Grace because she was in Sydney.
No, she's in Perth.
But she's coming in 11 days to Melbourne.
Oh, cute.
Yeah.
11 sleeps. Well, how do your mum and dad feel about it? Because I know that they loved me.
Yeah, I mean, they're pretty pumped as well. So.
Well, to be honest, I think it had his dad loved you based on potentially getting tickets to the Melbourne.
I did make that promise, so I will stand by that promise. I will take your dad to the Melbourne Cup if we have a Melbourne Cup.
Yeah, but do you think this shit's going to come back? I mean, you're an event head.
Yeah, I know.
What's going on? Any plans?
There's no way. Like, everyone's being so cautious, so careful. I haven't even heard a whisper about events starting back up again. I mean, they can't even fit more than 20 people in a venue. So you can't even, how can you have an event with less than 20 people? There was it was interesting to see how different brands and PR agencies sort of adapted to the isolation. I know that there was one brand who was supposed to have a launch party and instead sent the invitees a bunch of different boxes with different numbers on them, and then they had like a schedule for the morning and they told you when to open each box. And like the first box there was like some breakfast stuff and like a little mini sort of Prosecco, and then the next box was like, so they kind of brought the event to you, which I thought was really interesting. So it's been interesting to see how brands are tackling it, but I don't imagine events coming back anytime soon.
Have any sort of stunk a little? Like, I mean, I've seen you've been getting sent a bunch of stuff. The wine stuff looked great.
Yeah. There's a lot of wine, which is, I mean, no one's going to say no to wine. A lot of skincare. I think, sort of brands realised really early on, whether this was going to help them or hinder them. And skincare, a lot of makeup, which was interesting because I'm like, where am I putting on this where am I wearing this makeup to? A lot of interest from sex toy companies, which we spoke about briefly off air before, because vibrator sales went through the roof. But yeah, there wasn't anyone that was, I mean, people were we're all in the same boat. I think people were just trying to hang on. There were a lot of little I did a lot of posts for sort of smaller businesses that were basically, going to lose everything. Cafes and stuff like that, a lot of at-home meals, DIY meals. But yeah, it's been a really interesting time.
You've been known to order a lot on Uber Eats. Has it gone up?
Do you know what? It's gone down. And
really?
I think that's because, as with everybody, I've been cooking more, baking more, and that, as I said before, I've been actually driving to venues, my favourite restaurants, my favourite cafes, and buying food from them directly, so they get all the money. So I've been doing a lot more of that.
Have you had a favourite? What's been your favourite?
Yeah, I've been ordering a lot of food from 2 Pounds. So 2 Pounds is in Armidale, right near my house, and they're usually a catering and events company, and they've obviously had all their events cancelled or their weddings cancelled, and they've been doing these amazing home-cooked meals. Their menu changes every week, and they've got this absolutely delicious chicken, leek and bacon pie.
Yum.
It is phenomenal. It's $45. It's huge. It would feed I eat it for days. But I've been ordering that a lot from them, helping to kind of keep them afloat, which has been good.
Pies are very hot right now, I think.
Are they?
Well, winter. Pies, soups, what else do they have?
I can't get around
Lasagna.
soups.
Why?
It's just not enough of a, you need to have crusty bread, and at
Yeah,
that
I
point,
agree.
just have the bread.
But you've got no problem getting around thick shakes, baby.
No, I love a thick shake.
Yeah, I know, but
But soup is not pretending to be a drink. Like a thick shake is a drink.
yeah.
You can get some hearty soups though, with like chunks of meat in them, or like noodles or any. Like you can get some.
I just
pretty
wonder
good
if it's getting it to that chunky level. Is it actually a soup?
Is it in a stew?
Yeah. Is it a?
What is a soup and what is a stew? Like what makes a stew?
Well, I've been Bree and I have been doing Thai. We've been ordering Thai, but not getting the rice. And I realise how much of Thai food relies on rice. Like we keep asking, like,
It'd be
why
very
is
watery.
it? Yeah, and that's what I'm wondering. It's like, why is it so watery? It's because it's got no coconut rice to
Soak it up.
absorb it up.
Yeah. I
Fill
mean,
you up.
I was eating soup last night, pumpkin soup, quite watery. It got to a point where it's like chewing gum. If I chew it for like more than 5 minutes, I start getting frustrated that my gums, my mouth starts to get a bit sore. I'm like, fuck this, spit it out. And so I was sipping like, and I was like, fuck this, picked it up and just sculled it.
Yeah.
I was like,
Do you know what the worst chewing
Much
gum
better.
is? The bubblegum nose from a Buffalo Bill. That is hands down.
mate.
That is hands down. Is that even gum? What is that? Like, what is
like a
that?
gobstopper or
That-
something.
oh, that is
You take
criminal.
two bites and you're like, what is this?
Well, I think
spit it
that
out.
maybe they have to do something special for the
So it to stay in the
Yeah.
fridge. Yeah, it's gross.
No, I reckon it's margins. I reckon it's a cheap ball. It's like at a
like
gumball
those big
machine.
machines.
Yeah,
Yeah,
where
yeah,
you
yeah.
pay $1 for
And
a
it goes
fucking
down.
Goes
Yeah,
down. It's all for kids. It's the same gum that comes from there. But I think there's a problem with freezing it. I reckon if you put extra into the freezer and then pulled it out and had
Yeah.
a bite, you'd be like, this
Horrendous.
stinks.
We got Bree and I got some of the cookie dough from like an ice cream shop.
Oh.
They're
Oh,
doing
the
like
tub of dough thing?
Nah, it's like I looked at that, but the thing is, like the tub of dough thing, you end up just like eating it from the tub. It's like an ice cream.
I think that's the point.
Yeah, but I feel like that's a dangerous habit. But there's they're doing like the logs, and so that you
That
can
does not set advertising in the slightest.
you cut it up and then you put it into the oven, and then they tried to upsell.
Oh,
so
wait,
it's-
I love that. The cookie
Yeah.
dough you get from like Woolworths.
yeah, but it's like from an ice cream shop, and then they try and
okay,
upsell you to
okay.
put ice cream in the middle.
Yeah, it's
like
like a
ice cream
bespoke.
sandwich.
Yeah.
Yes,
Like a
exactly.
Maxi Bon, but like rustic.
Yeah, are you a Maxi Bon?
I am.
fan?
I don't like the biscuit end, which I know is really controversial.
Mate,
Really, the best.
Your face, you just look so horrified.
But there is something in that. Like, I feel like that puts you in a good place to find a partner because
Yeah.
that's
Reckon?
like the
Should that be my Hinge? Because you know, you wouldn't know, but on Hinge you have to answer 3 questions, which is
Yeah.
why I prefer Hinge to most dating apps. Because you kind of, with most dating apps, it's just the visuals that you get, and you go yes or no based on someone's face. But with Hinge, you have to answer these 3 questions. You can choose the questions, but so you kind of get a snapshot of their personality as well as their face from the very get go. Maybe that should be one of my questions.
No, I
What
like
are
it.
the questions at the moment for
My
you?
questions.
Yeah.
Oh, I walked right into that, didn't I?
Yeah.
So one of them's a bit forward. Okay, I think I made this thinking I wouldn't probably be on it for a while. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, this is kind of like funny and like it sets you up. You guys know me pretty well by now. I'm a lot. And I just feel like pretending that I'm not a lot is just not going to do me any favors. So I'm just all out from the get-go.
But we did say we weren't going to mention anal on this episode. So.
We've already mentioned it, so we're already there. Okay, so my first one is, so the question is, the dorkiest thing about me is, and then I put ... how long do you have? Because
Okay.
like
Okay,
cute,
yeah, that's
dorky,
good.
goofy. And I'm a
That's
massive...
not that forward.
No, that's not the forward one.
Yeah.
I start soft.
Yeah,
You can
yeah.
also switch the like the placements around.
It's foreplay.
So I started with that, which says like, hey, like I'm like, look at me, but also like I'm a bit of a dork, like cute, but like approachable.
Give us one
relatable.
dorky aspect of
I used to
Tully.
do fencing.
Oh, that's
As a
that's right. I
Yeah,
know.
I've had saxophone.
Yeah, big dog.
I used to be a gamer. Like there are plenty of things that are dorky about me.
Mate,
But also-
gaming is fucking rock star now.
But also followed by that question is like a super hot photo of me in a bikini.
Sure,
Like I
such a
look like a
dork.
bloody. That's a 12 out of 10 shot of me. Like that might be the best photo I've ever seen of myself. Like I just look phenomenal.
Who took that photo?
That was at a big influencer event in Sydney for Revolve, which is a huge clothing company, American clothing company.
So as a professional photographer.
No, it was just another influencer, but they are the best photographers. Other influencers take the best photos, hands down.
Mate, you're the self-timer queen.
Oh, I've gotten so good at it. I've now got a ring light. Like I'm really upping my game. My second question is, it says, don't hate me if I, And then I said, drink you under the table. You can all attest to how much I can drink.
Yeah,
it's a
true.
lot. I'm just so gagging for this to be full. And then another hot
pointed to a
photo.
glass.
Actually, this photo was of me when I was in LA with you guys.
Oh, cool.
That's when you snuck off.
No, I didn't sneak off. You left me.
Oh, yeah.
And then the last one, this is the forward one. It's actually a quote. And if you can tell me who the quote's by, I'll be very impressed. It says, my mantra is, and then I wrote, if you go home with somebody and they don't have any books, don't fuck them.
I believe ScoMo said that. No, who
John Waters.
John Waters.
Yeah.
And
But then there's, to combat that, there's
who
like
is
a
he?
nice
I
smiling
just want
photo.
to understand how he's so
Yeah,
fuckable.
who is John Waters?
It's just about, and most guys, because then you can respond. So when you see someone's profile, you can respond to one of their questions as like an opener.
Okay.
The amount of guys that are like, does a Kindle count? Or
Okay,
like,
sure.
do coffee table books count? I'm like, no,
Yeah.
I want a bookshelf.
Oh, you fucking dummy.
No, you dumb.
Wait, so what's the quote again? Read the quote. What was it?
If you go home with somebody and they don't have any books, don't fuck them.
Okay. What if they have a lot of books?
At least a receipt.
But they don't read.
Which is that I have been known to have a lot of books. But,
You guys gave me books when we first met,
that's
which was
true.
an absolute.
That's not a euphemism. We literally just gave you books.
You did. It was so sweet.
Have you been reading in ISO?
You know what? I haven't been reading as much as I thought I would be. I've been doing a bit of writing. But yeah, I don't know. I felt that pressure. And I know it was a common phenomenon, so I don't feel like weird about it. But there was pressure because we had so much time to like do so much with it. Like I bought a bunch of books and I was like, I'm going to finish all of them. No, I did not finish all of them. I also didn't watch a lot of Netflix or anything. Like I didn't want to wake up and turn the TV on and then have the TV on all day and all night. Like it just felt really yuck.
Weren't you talking up that show where people go on an island but then they don't fuck?
That was the best. Too Hot to Handle. Have you guys
That's
not
the
watched
Aussie
that?
dude that's dating the...
Oh, he's a waste of space. He reminds me of every douchebag I hooked up with at schoolies. Like he's just the typical, like that's a guy that I took home at schoolies in Byron Bay, like hands down. Yeah.
And so
he's
what's-
engaged to the hottest girl on the show. Like he managed to score the hottest woman on that show.
Yeah.
A lot of
And-
books.
He's,
No,
you know he's now friends with Bieber?
Is he though? Like
Bieber slid into his
I'm friends
DMs
with Bieber, you know.
and then they're having phone conversations. He was saying he's having like a couple of hour-long conversations with Bieber.
Catfished. It's Bieber. The I&E is
have
the
you
other
guys
way
watched
around.
the Bieber's Facebook show, their reality TV show they
Oh.
did while in ISO?
No.
YouTube?
Oh my God. No, it's Facebook have done it. It's on Facebook. It's a Facebook series.
Yeah.
It's like the Biebers at home.
Oh, so
It
this isn't
is-
you're referring to the YouTube one where
So
he goes
there's a-
into the chamber.
No,
There was a
not about-
doco
yeah, that was-
and then... Okay. I haven't seen this.
That was just Justin. This is the Biebers.
Who are the Biebers? As in his
wife.
dad?
No, his wife.
Okay, so no, the family. No, there's a-
Just him and Haley at home during ISO.
Mate, his dad's
Holy-
riding his son's fame hard.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So's
anything
his
about-
mental coach.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
His dad's hot. His dad's pretty hot.
Yeah, yeah.
I'd do his dad. I'd do most people, let's be honest.
Yeah.
No, but anyway, so it's this show and I thought, because everyone loves, I mean, girls love Haley Baldwin. She's got the best style in the world. I would kill for her wardrobe.
Is that why you love it? Style? What
She's
is
just a
it?
style art. She's just got really cool style. She's just
Okay.
really effortless.
Yeah.
And I love the story of those two because she was a massive Bieber fan. Like there's all this archived footage of like her tweeting like how much she loved Bieber when she was a kid, and now she's ended up like she's played the longest game ever. And
Well,
she's-
what about
It's very similar to Grace in a lot of ways.
Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes? As a kid, Katie had Tom Cruise posters up in her room.
It's a
Really?
little
And then
bit-
she
there's
ends up
something
marrying him.
bit-
It's
there's
so
some-
weird.
I think it's off.
bizarre. Anyway,
so
this
just
show,
side note, who did you have on your wall as a kid?
do you know who I loved? Josh Hartnett.
Oh, yeah.
Big Josh Hartnett
know
fan.
Yeah.
I loved, he's in that movie 40 Days and 40 Nights where they don't have sex. Like the sex scene is an orchid being draped across her naked body, which turned me on. At
40
the time.
days and 40 nights.
Yeah, he tries to like abstain from sex for Lent or like just for a social experiment. And then he obviously falls in love the minute he decides to do that because it's a movie. And then they had this like sex scene that's not a sex scene because he's abstaining, where she like drags this like orchid over his body. It's very erotic.
Like a flower. Is it an
what an
orchid flower?
Yes, that's a flower.
Yeah,
Sorry,
sorry.
I didn't realize that's where I was losing you.
No, but I just felt like that is strange. So she put a flower
Because,
on him.
sex isn't just about actually fucking. It can be quite intimate and erotic in
sure.
other ways.
About
Take
Did he
notes,
take an
Mason.
antihistamine or was he
Oh
fine?
my God. Of course you like ruined this beautiful, sexy time moment.
So back to it. Haley Baldwin,
Yeah,
Facebook
so anyway,
show.
so I thought this is going to be and also like what a interesting insight. I think we've all really enjoyed seeing more of celebrities' homes during this time because they're sort of
to make us feel like how useless we are and how
well, it's
poor
just like
we
a
all
funny,
are.
Kylie Jenner's moved. We're seeing more of her new
Oh, yeah.
house, which has a pool in the middle of everything, which is bizarre. Anyway, I thought it was going to be great. It is like watching paint dry.
Really?
It is so dry. So like they're not. I don't even think they're into each other. Like it's that in one episode they get in a boat in like a dinghy and they just go into this lake. And they're asking each other questions about their marriage and like, what's the best part about being married to me? And
What's in it for them? What do you think they're saying yes
obviously
to that
Facebook
for?
have paid them $1 million trillion. They're just at home bored. They're bored as well.
Yeah.
Bored at the house.
Well, I can tell you the best thing out of ISO was me somehow getting onto your Facebook page, following you.
Here we go.
The shit that you write.
It's actually, I don't accept just anyone on my Facebook.
But we're mates.
I know,
Is
but
it-
you should be like, it's a big thing to be on my Facebook.
Is this not public? Because
No.
so
Is this
Tully,
page or friend? Like
it must be a friend's.
No, it's my friend.
So it's friends,
It's
right?
my personal page.
But it's the writing. If you want photos of Tully, go to Facebook, Instagram. If you want,
that was our little secret, Josh. You're my only subscriber right now.
Is there with the OnlyFans
Hang on,
thing? Is it public? Like, can I go onto OnlyFans.com and pick names? No.
you could
As
search
in
for
searching or actually looking at content?
It's all behind
Oh,
the
you could
paywall. You
definitely
can't
go there
see.
and search
You
my
see
name.
who it is. Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, go on. Sorry.
Some of the stuff you've been writing, awesome. And if it's not public, I want to read some of out. Then one of your ones recently, because that's what I mean. Is it public? Can people see it?
No, only you can. I don't know if the boy. I don't think the boys have asked my Facebook friend.
No.
Equal rights for others does not mean less rights for you. It's not pizza.
Equal rights.
Equal
It's not
rights
pizza.
for
Why is
others
that taking you so long to
does
figure
not
out, Josh?
mean less rights for you. It's not,
Not pizza. I get it. Because the pizza's the slices.
I
and you
just
eat 'em.
really Facebook's where I actually put what I'm actually thinking and feeling because everything else is public and I can be judged. Twitter is pretty sassy because I believe I have no one I know personally on my Twitter. So Twitter is like it's pretty out there, but my Facebook is my only private platform. It's the last bit of me that I don't have to share with Daily Mail or with whoever else.
Yeah.
So I put my actual thoughts and feelings. What else are you going to read? I'm looking at you scrolling.
I love it. No, this is a good one. Here's a handy dandy list of people to delete from your Facebook, and then I just click on it. No idea what was going to happen. Friends who like Donald J. Trump, and then it's got all my mates.
wasn't that eye-opening? I found
That
that
is,
really
yeah.
eye-opening. But
So
then
wait,
people,
so it will show you who? Because I wonder about that because I want to see
How does that work?
it
It's
just
just like
How's it
who
work,
likes a
it
page. you know?
amalgamates people that have liked Donald Trump on Facebook, but a
But
lot of
only from my friends. So I'm looking at all these people that. Yeah.
Facebook used to have a lot more that you could do. Like, so you could go into Facebook and say, people who like this page who live in Collingwood and all that. But
you
that's
could be like
full on.
Richmond supporters from Paran and find like a group of people. Yeah, but that was funny because I had a bunch. I didn't name and shame anyone, nor did I actually unfriend them. Like each their own, we've all got different opinions. But I had a few people comment. If you'll see, that got kind of heated. I feel like people had a guilty conscience, and a few of them were like, "Well, what if you like him just to see the funny things he's posting?" And I'm like,
Yeah,
"Okay,
I like
all
The
right, settle down."
Apprentice, you
Just because you like him on Facebook doesn't mean you vote for him. It's okay.
That's what I do wonder. Like on Twitter, I always have to search him to read what he's written.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to sort of.
Well, he's trending.
Yeah.
He's always trending.
That's true. We should.
Yeah.
It's Hump Day.
Yeah.
So we should.
So what do
play-
you know of this, Tully? What do you know of
don't
Hump
say
Day?
that.
Don't.
He's anxious enough. Sorry, we got in today, and he's got, you're eating protein bars now. I mean, it must be the Josh Janssen effect.
Protein guy.
He's like, no, I'm just really anxious. I needed something.
He needed something in his tum tum, which is the cutest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
It's not going to help your shit though. Like, it will,
It's going to clog me up.
I swear, sometimes you forget you guys are
Running all
amongst
over
females.
again.
Like it's like being in the boys' locker
No,
room.
that's fine. Like poo talk.
I
mean,
hate shit talk.
Really?
Hate it.
So, in regard, so
That wasn't an opener to start talking about shit.
just
read the room,
question.
JJ.
I can't read. No, but so like, are you funny about if you stay at someone's house, like taking a dump?
I just don't shit
Okay.
at all.
Don't shit.
I've dated people for like 4 years and they've never heard me fart ever.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
And
a
you
skill.
said get it done in the first week.
Yeah, you've got to get it.
Is that what your plan?
Get it
JJ.
done.
Well, that's Josh's advice.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
It's advice from a guy that's had one girlfriend, been with him for 13 years. I think it's sound advice, but it's also not that tried and tested.
But it's also that thing of like always be at a 60%, like or in from a
You've
looks
got to keep
perspective.
some mystery, mate. You've got to keep some mystery.
Isn't there other mystery though, other than shitting and farting?
Yeah,
That's
farting.
I mean,
Why,
is that a
why did I
reflection
do
of-
this? I've done this to myself. Like,
You did. Georgie boy, go on. What was that? Was that you, Tully?
that was good.
like a
That was
soundboard.
good.
Uh-oh, Tully fart.
I'm actually, I'm sweating just thinking that I possibly did that.
You need to go to the toilet.
It's actually really
Georgie boy.
suppressive, Tully. I don't like this behaviour.
Okay, GB.
All right.
What's with the
yeah.
pointing?
I'm just fucking leading the
Yeah,
shit.
you
You
are
don't
pointing a lot.
It's a new thing.
Okay.
You don't
Howard
like
Stern.
it. You don't like it.
Does Howard
Too
do
much.
it?
I don't know.
Okay.
Probably.
It's good to be back. I wasn't here last week.
Weren't you?
No, I was at Bunnings.
That's right. It was on for a job.
Yeah.
But this is episode 10 of Hump Day Replay.
Huge.
Yeah,
Definitely worth celebrating.
Yeah, I'm proud of it. So
Yeah, let's clap it before we even see it. Right.
Yeah, lots going on. I actually had a look to see how many episodes that makes it, and I think it's over 100 episodes that have been reviewed,
Wow.
replayed.
Oh, great.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's
so
really
that's exciting.
impressive.
Is that true?
I think so.
We did double. If
Okay,
it's-
yes.
it was
Yeah. We were
If
doing
we
2
did
episodes
50,
a day
if
for a
it's-
while.
yeah.
And the
If you don't
first
count
week
five.
there was a few extras
Okay.
because
That's good.
Content.
exactly. But so I've got a big bottle of Prosecco.
Which I've been gagging for since you mentioned it when I got here.
And so what? So you were saying, Tully, that it's quite a premium, or
Well, it just doesn't look like a cheap bottle.
It looks nice,
It's
doesn't
not
it?
passion pop.
How much was
That's
it?
something that you'd bring to a date because it looks probably more expensive than it is.
Yes.
So you bring that and they think, oh God, you spent a bit. When it's probably like $12.
20.
20?
bucks.
That's
Go
that's
hard.
not a cheap bottle though.
No,
There is a really good cheap Prosecco that we've found.
I think that there's no one in this room who would be able to tell the difference. I think that
Absolutely
there's
not.
no way. I was
No.
hoping for passion pop. This is great.
Yeah, happy.
So anyway,
how's it going to go with coffee? And you're having a hot choc as well.
I've finished that.
Nah, I finished it.
In
It's all good.
preparation.
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a Grande Cuvée 1531 de Ameri.
Close.
I think
That
the mic
is-
just broke it. Do we get that?
Yeah, we
Actually,
No. No. You were just a bit slow.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. And yeah, so hope you enjoy this one.
Open
Okay,
it.
so you're going
Do
to pop
it.
it or at
we-
the end?
oh, I'll pop it
we-
now. Okay.
do it now after. We'll do it after.
Okay, here we go. Georgie Boys
what?
Hump Day
I've been
replay.
sitting
Is this-
here hoping we could
I
get
know,
tipsy
you've
throughout
been
the show.
gagging. Do you want to do it now?
I reckon we should
It's
do
gonna
it
take
now.
you-
Yeah, let's all just fill the glasses.
It's hump
It's
day.
going to take him 5 minutes to get to
I feel like Tully should do it. I feel like should be.
Oh, here we
Yeah,
go.
yeah, you do it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, great. This is good.
Yeah.
Here we
Okay,
go.
so Tully's got
Yeah.
the.
This is my first
Okay.
day opening a bottle.
So are we all having some? Is that?
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah.
not want some?
Well, I mean,
Yeah, you've got a
GB
glass.
gave me a.
Then you're having some. That's a signal that
Mace,
you are having some.
Mace loves sparkling, guys. I tried to make him have some sparkling in LA, and he literally had to like gag it down.
Okay, so-
I said, "You will drink this champagne because it was a gift from the owner of the restaurant, and it's rude to not drink
yeah,
it."
Yeah, when Grant Smiley gives you booze, you fucking drink it.
Okay, here we go. So she's got her hands
Should I do
firmly
it-
on
Should I
the.
do it in front of?
Watch
Yeah,
the
this is
watch.
great.
Watch. Okay, yeah, great.
Guys, it's not my first rodeo.
Okay, here we go.
okay.
So Tully's got. She's putting a lot.
there we go.
Geez,
Right.
that was good.
That was solid,
Who's
wasn't
gonna
it?
who's gonna
Yeah, you
do the honours?
Yeah, no, you
Okay.
go first. Fill yourself up,
You-
Tully, and then
Don't
just
say that,
pass.
'cause I'll fill the whole.
Just pass the bottle.
GB, you just take
I'm
the
having
rest of
mine
the
out of a
bottle.
water glass because there was only 4 glasses
No, I
in this
appreciate
office.
it.
Okay, that's
Stems
all
are a bit bogan now, anyway, aren't they? Or
they're still
stemless
good. We
is
just-
bogan.
We just bought. Amy just bought a new round, which means of glasses, which means we can get the ones from home and bring them to
great.
the office. So we'll have more.
We have it's an eclectic.
I'm gonna get. You guys
set.
gonna? How
Do you
gonna
wanna-
get
yeah,
yours?
just- just
I'll,
pass it. Pass
yeah,
it
yeah,
down.
Sebs
Okay,
Sebs will bring it
He'll-
around.
bottle
Are you
just
service, bottle
doing a
service.
top up. Great.
She's just getting a little
Okay.
bit more.
That's
This is
actually-
Okay, Tully
This
is
is
filling
good.
up.
This is
That's,
Happy-
that's
I'm
two
just trying
standard
to be
drinks.
Okay, you know what?
That's-
Happy
This
Wednesday.
is
Happy
great.
Wednesday.
Here we
It's
go.
12:27.
Okay,
Great.
here we
time.
go.
Just confirming I can leave my car here, guys.
Yes,
you
you
can.
can. Alrighty. And GB, anything else you want to say before we play?
No, I think that's pretty much it.
Okay, this is.
Are we playing a drinking
Do you
game?
want to thank Mama Bear? Just
Thanks, Mummy Bear.
Thanks,
great.
Mama Bear.
Mummy.
Thanks, Mum.
Loves that.
Are we playing pickle? You guys know I love it.
This week, we celebrated the Queen's birthday.
What a woman. What a woman.
Got a pretty good life.
I wonder how she's still alive, to be honest.
96-year-old woman on a horse, royal.
I would blow up if I wasn't on this fucking horse.
We heard about producer Jess's boxing match.
I knocked her eyelashes out.
Oh, I guess it's better than teeth.
Undefeated champ.
Really? Oh, clap. This is when
that's
you
good.
clap.
And Mr. 97 had a close call with raw chicken.
We had a freshly stocked fridge. And so there was red pepper.
He lives at the Grand Hyatt.
Oh, it's great. There was red pepper and there was hummus. When I was eating the red pepper, there was this little, thing on it. And I thought it was just hummus.
Describe it. What is it?
Sort of like hummusy raw chicken colour. And I licked it. I took on salmonella.
Speaking of a full fridge, JJ wants to get into the smart home game.
So I think smart locks would be great. Security cameras would fucking have every corner of the house. The thing that is cool is being able to have the cameras in the fridge so it knows when you're low on stock.
Low on protein bars.
Okay, yep, I'll let Josh know.
Low on Monster Energy drink.
Still got a full can.
Low on red peppers.
I call them capsicums, but yeah.
Low in zinc.
I don't really know what that is.
Low on ideas.
I've got a few. They're not great,
Low on
but
motivation.
I'm actually feeling quite inspired,
Low
to be
in
honest.
iron.
That's true, I have been feeling a little bit tired
Low
lately.
on time. Low on blood sugar.
Low on self-esteem.
Low on friends.
Low on
Low on
vitamin
money.
A, C.
Low on battery. Low on genuine AirPods. Tell you what you're not low on. Confidence. Nice haircut.
Ah, thank you so much.
With the megaphone sponsorship up for grabs,
Ben Fordham, hot off the microphone.
the boys had a few personal shout-outs.
Taver from RBK Advisory, little shout out. You're a good man.
Stir fries are great. Just shout out for stir fries.
I'm actually going to shout out salmon and zucchini. Baked. Simple, 15 minutes, cut it all up, bit of salt and pepper, a little bit of lemon. Done.
No, it's either pan fried or you just do zoodles.
This guy.
Yeah.
With international travel still on hold, JJ got nostalgic.
Actually went to Krakow in Poland, KL to Lahore. I went to Munich,
Have you been?
Pakistan, yes.
Really?
Yeah. When we were in Alabama, when we were leaving Heathrow, last time I'm going to mention a place, but Auckland.
And there was tension between Grace and Mr. 97.
Your girlfriend Grace uses the phrase or the word palmy to describe a chicken parmigiana.
Yeah, no, that's wrong.
Palmy vs. Palmer hotline, how are you?
Oh, we've had conversations about it.
I'm sorry, but there is no cure. You just have to change. You just have to stop saying Palmy and start saying Palmer.
It's baby talk though, isn't it? That's my criticism. It's like dippy egg, asking for dippy eggs and soldiers.
The baby talk continued with a question from Tommy.
So in the car, we're trying to explain to Bodie what funky means.
Well, funky is like
Just
groovy.
What does groovy mean?
Thumbs up, funky. Sunglasses on, funky. Cool music, funky.
Looking good. Oh, thanks, mate. Anything else? Huh? Oh, sorry. How would you describe me? Stylish, looking cool, looking groovy. Groovy? Groovy, there you go. Oh, sorry, no, I meant looking good, looking... Yeah, just listen to this. To be honest, I kind of got... Okay, yeah. AirPods. Nice. Hey, this is a really funky beat. Oh, yeah. And would you say that Thanks so much for showing me. Okay. Catch you, man. See ya.
A big thank you to our guests for this week.
Can we get this in Hump Day replay?
Yeah, Georgie.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It's happening.
We love talking tech and banking with Dominic Pym.
Making a contribution to society or making a contribution to other people and sharing knowledge or helping other people improve other people's lives is something that I'm very passionate about.
We learnt about sustainability and coffee with Russell Towers.
Our vision is to try and create organic waste bins at cafes and at roasters, and then from that point onwards we can create a completely closed loop end of life for these cups.
But our most important conversation in a week of complexity was with our good friend, Crystal Andrews.
When I am able to kind of go through society with some people thinking that I am I'm white, I access all of the privileges that a white person also accesses because I haven't been put in a different box. So I certainly have had things a lot easier in life than even some of my, like some of my cousins who are much darker looking than I am, who have more Asian features than I do. I've definitely enjoyed some privileges in life, and yeah, that's just another thing to take stock of at this kind of time. It's given me a really good pause for thought.
That's it from me. I've been Dodgy George. Good night, Australia, and happy 10th episode.
Georgie boy, he's done it again.
10 in.
Oh,
Here we go.
Can we?
Are we doing a cheers?
Are we cheersing?
Cheers.
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 Cheers. Oh yeah, cheers. Okay, great.
Okay.
That's nice.
Guys, I have an issue.
What's
okay,
wrong?
great. Here we go.
First of all, this isn't big enough. No. I have an issue with you guys having hot guests on the show and not hooking me up in the slightest. There's been a few where I've been like, who the hell? Like, Russell's cute.
Yeah, he's also WA.
I thought you were going to mention
Hey,
the
we could
people
just-
in
we could
Georgie
just-
Boy's sketches, and I was going to reveal it's all Georgie.
George,
I just
you
feel
did look
like-
hot, George, in that sketch, actually.
Yeah.
I just feel like you guys know that, I'm searching for love. And when you have good-looking, successful, driven, smart men on the show, can we make little cards up with my number on them or something? Like, you just hand them out?
Oh, definitely, we could organise something.
You got to be in the
annoys
office
me.
more,
Well,
and then we can just
I'm
feed
happy.
you through.
You guys were like, you tried to offer me a Zoom chat this morning. And I was like, I want to come in. And
Yeah.
we actually, we broke a record this morning, did we not, Josh?
Yeah. Well, you haven't had a
I
hug.
forced a hug on you.
You haven't had a hug with anyone
you
since
broke my
COVID.
seal of,
You didn't
public
stand a
hugs.
chance.
Yeah.
I was coming in hot.
I think it was my first hug outside of family as well, like a mate.
Just know that I took lockdown very seriously. I mean, I did go on a few ISO dates, but I took it pretty seriously.
Well, right now there is 0 new cases in Australia, and that's been for a couple of days. Sebs, can you
But
look that up?
4 in this room. So annoying.
No, but so no local cases. So international people coming in, there might be a few. We've actually got a friend in one of the hotels in the city. One of Bodie's mates' parents and the kids. So they went to Mexico in the crazy time before, and then they have come back. And so there's Lucia and her 3-year-old kid in one small little
can't even
room.
imagine.
Crazy.
Can they
Can't
actually?
even- for 2 weeks, right?
So
Yeah.
So is there flights internationally at the moment?
They've just had the last couple come in from LA.
I think there's always been
Monday?
flights. There's always been like if there's some, they can't just not fly people.
No, so
in and
listen to
out.
this. So Monday was one of the second last, and then yesterday I think was the last, a part of the government subsidised get people home scheme. And so that's where it was like you could jump on one of those flights, but they're looking at how can they introduce, or how are the government going to cover for more people being able to come home. And
Well, I'm going home tomorrow for the first time since Christmas, and it was
Sydney?
Sydney.
Yeah.
For those playing at home, but it was an absolute bitch to get to Sydney. I wanted to go home 2 weeks ago.
you know the question I want to know, Josh,
Which one?
how much?
Oh,
did you
yeah.
pay?
How much did you?
It was
What'd
a
you
lot.
pay?
Well, I actually was lucky. So I was supposed to speak at a dementia conference next week that was happening in Sydney. And through that, they'd booked me flights. Conference was cancelled, but they were lovely enough to say, hey, look, I was doing it pro bono just because I want to raise awareness for dementia because of my mum passing away from it. But they were lucky enough to say, hey, look, conference has been cancelled. We're going to take it online probably in August to correlate with Dementia Awareness Month. But, we'd love to gift you the flights anyway so you can go see your family.
Man, that's so nice.
So I was really lucky, but I was looking myself to fly up a couple of weeks back. I wanted to be home for Mother's Day for obvious reasons. They were like $1,000 plus.
Yeah.
That was the first one. One after that was $3,000. It jumped from $1,000 to $3,000 to fly an hour and a half flight up to Sydney. Another one wanted me to go via Adelaide. It was like a 36-hour round trip.
Via
I was like,
Adelaide to get to
"Excuse me?"
Sydney.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Good stopper.
Fuck. Adelaide's.
So many people I know have been driving up because it's just impossible. You don't get any snacks, no water. We're told to bring our own water.
It's an hour flight. You'll be right.
I agree with you, but just being told I won't have any snacks on
Yeah,
board
sure.
suddenly makes me want to buy like a lunchbox full of snacks.
Yeah. Pretty forward question for me, but have you ever pooed on a plane?
Why? I just told you I hate talking about this shit.
Well, you shouldn't have said you hate talking about it because I now want to talk about it.
Statistically, as a travel blogger, I'm sure I have. Probably.
But you don't know. You can't confirm?
No.
Wow. No, that's a no. Because I shit every time I'm on a plane.
Why?
Really?
Do you
JJ
panic?
does.
I like it.
I've been on, look, not to
Oh my God, here we go.
I've been on a lot of flights. I've done a lot of travel.
I love that before watching that, you'd already mentioned Afghanistan before even watching that back.
Pakistan. But he has been to
Yeah.
You've flown over.
Flown over? I've flown over. It's not a competition though.
Do you know what? I do have to, I will tell you this. When I press the flush button, I immediately cover my hands over my ears like a toddler because that noise terrifies me. So I press it and then I go like this straight away.
Entering into the system.
No, it's fine.
You're doing me no favours here.
You're like my son. He can't have the hand dryer in toilets. It's too noisy for him. Can't have,
that's
hair
one
dryers.
level, but that flush is something else.
Yeah.
It fills the
it's
whole
solid.
room up. There's air coming from it.
Yeah.
You're like, am I about to get sucked back out that way? Or?
Where's it going? Is it sending
We
it
know where
out?
it goes.
It does not go.
no,
in.
it doesn't go.
It just drops down onto the ground.
Oh, you're talking about
No,
the
it does
flight.
not.
No.
it
Airplane.
does-
No,
it
you're a
does
loose
not.
unit.
I think there is international flights where they do release.
Mace,
It
come
breaks
on.
down
Let's
by the
have a
time it
look.
gets to the floor. It's like 36,000 feet, I bet you.
Absolutely.
No
Absolutely
way,
not.
dude.
This is blasphemy.
I'll have it maybe on some sort of international flights, maybe
Maybe
where they're doing
No.
maybe Tiger, and it's a mistake.
I'm
Anything-
feeling this already. By the way,
Yeah, so-
Isn't it funny? You have
Topping up.
like a sip, and it
it's
just
the bubbles.
hits your bloods, and
it's
you're
the
like,
bubbles,
"Oh."
and it's the light, and it's the heat in here. It's hot in
Yeah.
here.
Sevs has a new level of confidence.
Doesn't he?
And
you mentioned that upstairs, Tully. You're like, watch that
Oh,
kid.
he's coming for you. He's coming
Yeah.
for you. You've just blossomed since I met you. You're making me blush.
have you seen TJ? Have you seen his Instagram bio?
Did you see that?
Hang on. Let me
Oh,
just discover this.
now we all have to have a look.
Do you still follow him, Tully?
Of course I fucking follow him.
Good. I'd never know. I feel
His
like some.
Instagram. It feels like he didn't even from the guy who we describe as vanilla.
God, it's a good
the
photo.
most-
That's a great. Oh, he's added producer.
Okay, and so can you read
just
the
a-
bio,
hang on.
TJ?
Just a fruity guy who loves a G&T.
Far out.
What the fuck?
And this was after you deleted 400 followers?
You know what? Your profile photo should be you with a glass of G&T doing this.
No, that is a great profile photo. Can we just go back to LA when I had to trick him into drinking because he didn't like any. I had to find a drink that he would actually drink, which was tough because he doesn't like anything, including. Oh, he's done pretty well actually.
Oh, he smashed it.
I had to get him pineapple somethings because it just tasted like fruit juice.
They were great.
And then we got the wet pussies, and because if you guys haven't been to LA, they just free pour. So I ordered 4 wet pussy shots, which should be like shots, but they gave us like this much.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Well, I couldn't believe just the size of the shot glasses. Like they're proper like glasses for. It's a cup. It's a
George's cup.
It's
they
definitely
don't
a
have
cup.
shot glasses over there. It's useless.
It
for
literally
them.
was that. It was literally like that, and it was half full, and that was a shot.
Yeah.
And Mace just threw it back, and then all of a sudden needed to wee a lot.
Oh yeah, mate, I can't stand up. I can't stand up. Oh my god,
I can't see straight. Everything's really fuzzy.
It was so cute though.
It was cute.
It was so cute. So he's come a long way since then.
Absolutely.
We've all evolved, but him more specifically, he's
he's
really
coming
evolved.
into his own. He's like
It
a little
is.
butterfly coming out of his cocoon.
It is.
I'm just going to be kicking myself, aren't I?
You lost out, Tully. Sorry, babe.
I just have this feeling that like I could, if I wanted to, I could probably.
Nah, absolutely
No
not,
chance.
mate. You haven't seen his puppy dog eyes.
No, that's
It's
really
like
weird.
it's like an emoji with the love hearts. That's Sev's.
Or like the one where it's like it's about to start crying, like the big, like the actual puppy dog eye one, where it's like looking really like.
That's him. He's
Bless.
found love. It's beautiful, really.
I mean, who knows though? When you guys meet, like I'm also.
Oh, shit.
it's a whole other level, you know. Like it's a whole other thing. I've got a date in Sydney with a guy I've been talking to for about a month. We accidentally matched because all the dating apps change their parameters with isolation. So Tinder made it.
Are you saying he had no business matching with you?
Yeah,
No,
I
I'm
got
saying-
matched with a 6.
No, I'm
Ridiculous. I'm giving him a shot.
Yeah,
He had
exactly.
books in the background.
Yeah, but he's only got 2,000
Are you guys
followers.
done? Are you done?
Sorry,
done?
sorry, boss.
Are you done?
It's the Prosecco.
Are you done?
outrageous.
Let me know when you're done.
Just like
Especially with your Prosecco.
Why is everyone everyone's got their drink and they're just pointing at me?
We're going to the pub after this.
It's good. It's not Friday, is it? No, it's Wednesday. Go
I'm
on,
down
Tully.
for the pub.
Tully.
did we finish the bottle?
No, we got more.
You want more, Mace? Yes, babe. I've created a monster.
Go, Mason, take it.
So Tinder made it so there was no longer geo-targeting, so you could talk to anyone from all over the world, which is the same as Raya, which we've discussed before. Raya is the dating app for attractive celebrities.
How important is the attractive bit?
Guys, I have a story for you. Guess who I matched with on Raya?
Hang on, WordPress found it. No,
Explorer.
Explorer.
It was a Mozilla Firefox.
This is hands down. This is hands down
Inventor of Internet Explorer.
No.
Kim.com.
I just come here to get bullied. I get enough trolling on my Instagram. I need to come here and have real life trolling.
No.
Guys,
at least we give Prosecco.
We've had some funny, we've discussed before my funny matches, stuff like McLovin from Superbad was one of my funny ones.
Oh, was that one?
Draco Malfoy from Harry Potter, another hilarious match. Tayo Cruz. What?
This is all in LA, yeah?
No, this is here. Raya doesn't have geotargeting.
Doesn't Malfoy live in England?
Yeah, so Raya, you can talk to anyone. It's for people that travel a lot.
Okay.
So you can talk to anyone all over the world. Guess who I matched with during ISO?
Australian? Give us a few wins because I love this game.
Tommy, you're into basketball, are you, for the NBA?
No, but I'll say I do. I watched the Michael Jordan doco, so I'm pretty much
Okay,
savvy.
so he plays for the NBA. He's like top.
Is he Aussie?
No.
Okay.
No, well, the main
top player.
LeBron's married.
Steph's married. He's got kids.
Steph Curry's married.
He's got kids.
That's going to be so annoying.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I already followed. I think he's so hot. I already followed him, and I recognized because it has their photo of them, and then it has their Instagram handle. And I was like, that Instagram handle sounds familiar, and I was like, holy shit! And I swiped right, thinking he's ever going to match with me, and it was
Bogut?
instant match. No,
Andrew Bogut.
He's American.
Why is that funny?
He's not a top player.
Yes, he is.
He was. He played for Milwaukee.
I don't know if I'd say
I used to know him. He
Nerve
used to
with
come
Tully.
in. Grew up in Frankston. Used to come to the gym though.
He's great. I don't know if he's top 10.
For Rangers. Denham Rangers.
Yeah, and Milwaukee, I'm pretty sure.
You guys finished guessing?
No, I'm going to guess
Come on. He's like I'd say
is he
top
American,
5
did you
player.
say?
Yeah, he's American. I'd say top 5 players in the NBA league at the moment.
Hang on, top 5 players.
I would say top
NBA.
5.
Okay, this is
Then
a fun game.
A friend of mine who likes the NBA
Oh,
says,
Kevin Durant.
bingo.
Really?
Mate, he's number 2. LeBron, Kevin Durant.
Guys, I'm
and
just
so you
saying,
match with him?
Mace, you had your chance. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
We matched. The chat's really good. Do you want to hear the chat?
My God, this is what fucking pisses me off. He's my age. He's my
Why
age
does
and
that
he's a
piss you off?
superstar.
I'm
He's
pretty
born in
sure he
88.
also has a long-term
That's
girlfriend.
quite old for a sports person.
All right, mate. You're calling me fucking old?
No, it's
Okay, so this is the chat. You guys want to hear how good the chat is?
Yeah, great.
So this is the 18th of April, 2020 at 5:42 p.m. We matched, and I said, thinking I was being kind of cute, well, my Saturday night in isolation just got slightly less depressing. And then I said, hello. And he responds, why?
He's a sports player.
I said, well, I was hoping for conversation at the time, but the reply was a touch delayed. It was like 10 days later. And then that's been it.
Oh, wow.
So good chat.
Kevin Durant.
Good chat.
Do you think it is? It is.
So is that a win?
Oh, no, it's definitely him because it's connected to his official Instagram. You can see that there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to play it?
Yeah. Now we've got it full screen.
We've got a full screen.
Oh, so it's got a video.
Yeah,
is it?
it's a video.
So
This is how Raya
It's a
works.
slideshow.
Oh, he's in Paris.
It's like a PowerPoint
To
presentation.
be fair, not a single photo of him playing basketball, which I thought was kind of nice.
Yeah.
He was trying to
Bury the lead.
pretend that his name wasn't recognized across the globe.
Yeah.
Gangster.
I mean, I guess the thing is that you would.
I know a girl who somehow it was just through sliding into the DMs. NFL player, had a $10-15 million contract. Was like DMing this girl. They started a sort of online relationship. He was like booked her flights to come over,
Yeah,
and she
it
sort of
happens.
chickened. Like, it seems fucking ridiculous. I know your DMs are a dangerous place. Not on like people just sliding into them. And
Yeah.
Have you ever had any offers to fly you places? I actually know one of the stories, but probably shouldn't mention it. It's fucking crazy. I'll tell you that much. That's what you get for being friends with Tully, getting these secret
Have
stories.
you seen the Epstein doco?
I have. Actually.
Speaking
we're
of
talking about flying.
It was
just
not
like,
Epstein, guys. It was.
Yeah.
I was not.
No.
I did not give Epstein a massage.
And so that was fucked up. That doco.
So
You know
funny.
what?
Series.
It's gonna get a lot more fucked up. Have you seen what's happening with
No,
Well,
what's happening?
Hillary?
Hillary, and also, oh my God, you're a conspiracy
I'm not
theorist,
conspiracy
rabbit
theorist,
hole.
absolutely
No, but just
not.
at least rabbit hole. You go down the rabbit hole.
No, I don't, because I think it's all really overwhelming. But I do think that even from that documentary, you can see that there's about to be
You said mockumentary?
documentary.
You definitely said documentary. Take a sip.
We mentioned Prince Andrew, the Queen's son. He's been
He
now.
was so obviously implicated in
Dude.
that.
Indicted. What, he's been questioned by someone in, like a
So that the
agency
US
in the US.
So annoying. They keep saying like, "Hey, can you come talk?" And then he's like, I keep saying that I'll do it.
I've already said that three times. Yeah.
Mate, if you've said it 3 times, you've fucking gone and had the conversation
what?
if you're not a creep.
The thing that the nail in his coffin for me watching that documentary, spoiler alert, it's the whole thing. I mean, it's out there. It's common knowledge. The whole documentary, what it's about, was when that just innocent, the yardsman, like the guy that just worked on maintenance, was like, I saw him in the pool with the girl that accused him of doing it. She was top. Like he's got nothing to gain, nothing to lose. He's like, I'm just telling you, I saw him in the pool, and that was the chick he was with.
Yeah. Let's zoom out slightly. You reference it as being a sort of the documentary. It's like it's all been a piece of content for us where we've understood the effect it's had on people. But I mean, that's what sort of Netflix does. They take something that is really serious. You could see it as shining light on something to build some momentum behind getting the fucking conviction or something. But it also, on the other side, it's like watching a computer game of a shoot 'em up, and then you see a terrorist attack that's a shoot 'em up, and you're like, I can't tell the difference between the movie I just watched and this. And so what do you think in terms of watching this stuff, what Netflix get out of it as a business, and then also the victims and the atrociousness?
I think it's always I found it interesting because so many of the victims who were part of the court case were a part of the documentary. Like they all sat down one-on-one with Netflix. I feel like that to me gave it more credibility. I was like, okay, so they've all decided to come on board, all of them who are part of the public lawsuit. To me, I was like, that gave it more, I don't know.
Well, I think it's cathartic, and I can't speak for anybody who's been a victim.
They didn't get to face him in court because he killed himself. So it was probably, a huge bit of closure for them, I would say.
Well, it feels like, the courtroom was going to be a platform for them to express.
Well, they said that. A few of them said, I was really looking forward to my day in court. I wanted to stand up there. I wanted to face Jeffrey Epstein. I wanted to tell him what he did to me, how it affected me, how it's still affecting me. And I think 2 of them got to do that. And then he killed himself. There were conspiracy theories that he didn't kill himself.
I'm with you on.
And then
you think he did kill himself?
No, I don't think he did.
Okay. Yeah.
It's too dodgy.
Did you guys? Okay. Again, I'm not into conspiracy theories, but
I feel like you researched this shit though. I love it.
I don't just talk, without doing my fact checking. So if you look at the image of his room, first of all,
but after a couple of Prosecco,
I'm out. By the way,
Mason.
Okay. If you look at first of all, there were so many things that just went wrong that night, right?
Yeah.
Cameras just weren't on. Security guards, they were down a number there were just too many coincidences. But my thing was looking at his room, the bunk bed that they found him in, there was not enough drop to kill yourself.
Yeah.
The drop from his top bunk.
Yeah, he would have had to lean forward, but there's still not that much momentum.
But that's not what
Sorry, Sevs has just filled himself up before he fills Tully up.
Greedy fuck. Don't you think?
GB went through
Absolutely.
Just have
that's.
Do you want this one?
No,
you don't want that?
Just to like.
I did.
Sorry,
go
Tully.
sort of.
Sorry, Tully.
It's fine. You know what? This is why we wouldn't have worked.
We can get
Georgie boy's getting fruity. Add it to your bio.
I'll just pop up. I'll get my Uber Eats on. We'll just get on the BWS, but I'll deliver here.
Is that? Have you?
You can do that?
I've never had alcohol delivered like that.
I'll do it right now. Where's my phone?
In fact, the other night I had a date at my house.
Where's my phone?
I don't know. Where is your phone?
Why are you pissed off about this story? I want to hear this story about the date.
I had a date at my house. It was a ISO date. So it was at my house. One person, it's fine. It was all above board. And we went through our alcohol. And so I went to order more. And it was like, do you want to also order this cruiser snorkel for $50? And I was like, I absolutely do want to order that.
Snorkel? Is that like a beer bomb?
Have you seen what everyone's been doing them lately?
No.
It's a new thing with the cool kids. Mace, you should be across this.
What is it? What is it called?
The fruity guy from Instagram.
Definitely. Oh,
Just
yeah.
say cruiser snorkel. So
But
cruisers,
you wouldn't do it with a gin and
cruisers
tonic.
are back, guys. Cruisers are back. They're cool again now. People are doing cruises again.
Sugar-free ones.
So you
Sebs is
stick it
loving
in like
this.
this, right? You stick it in like this.
So you're putting your finger. Yeah,
no.
sure.
This is the
Yeah, I
is the
know, I
snorkel.
know. I'm
so
trying
you
to
stick it
explain it for
in.
the
It
audio.
takes the carbonation out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Then you hold this end of it, flip it up, let it go, and it just goes
It's like a
straight
beer bomb,
down your
but
throat.
a different way of doing it, right?
And so this was created in ISO.
So I'm on a date, right? And we've gone through. He bought a really respectable 6-pack of beer. Like imagine rocking up with a case. Be like, wait, mate, how long are you staying here for? Like, how drunk are we getting? I had a couple of bottles of rosé, and then we went through the alcohol.
Before he got there.
Fuck you, Josh. And so I was like, oh, we're out of alcohol. Don't worry, I'll just order some on Uber Eats. Uber Eats when BWS, and it was like, hey, do you want to also order this? It's snorkel. And I was like, we're having a good time. I'm sure that's a bonding activity we could do. $50 for a bit of rubber and some metal.
Did you
Are we
get the
getting
bonus ice pipes as well?
No, I did not. But you know what? I think nothing says romance like watching a girl that you're trying to maybe date really throw back a cruiser like straight down the, no gag reflex.
Did he appreciate it? Like, was he?
I put 2 away.
Really?
This is not.
What
I
did
don't
he
do myself
do?
any favors, do I? I come
No.
in here and I don't do myself any favors.
You serve it up. And
Wait,
we
guys,
hit it back.
back to my original story. So I also have a date with some guy that I haven't met yet in Sydney on Thursday with a guy I've been talking to. So Tinder made it that you could talk to anyone in the world. There was you could talk to someone in Paris, someone in Johannesburg, whatever. And then Bumble made it that you could make your distance. So usually you go, I want to speak to people in a 10K radius, people in your area, and you can make it go as far as wide as you want. And they made it you talk to anyone in Australia. But I didn't know that, and I kind of did it overnight. And so I was swiping thinking that I'm like, oh, there are all these cute new boys in Melbourne. What the hell? But he was in Sydney.
Frankston.
He was in Sydney. He was in Sydney. So we've been talking for a bit and we've got a date on Thursday. And I'm really nervous about meeting someone in real life.
Without,
Macy,
are you
you're not nervous?
going to location? Like a
Obviously, I'm
bar
a control
or-
freak and I've planned the whole thing.
Okay, no, that's good.
But I'm just, he's really chill. He's like, we get along really well. Like, we have a really good time. We talk every day. We talk all day via text and we talk every day on the phone. Like, why would this be a success? And I'm like, you can get along with someone really well, but if there's not that chemistry when you meet them, like, it's fun. You're just mates.
Has your sexting changed since being in ISO?
I actually, yeah. I've never been a
Presumptuous question.
I've never been
What's
a fan.
the
It's a good story. I've never been a fan of phone sex. I'm like, it's not the same. How can you
Is
get
there a
into
difference
it? How
of
awkward.
phone sex versus sexting? Phone sex, I imagine, like you're using one of those burger phones from the 90s talking about taking off your pants. Whereas
AirPods are much easier to do a bunch of stuff whilst
Sure.
speaking.
But the AirPods are so shit. The problem...
Says the guy with the latest AirPods.
Yeah, I've got the
That's
AirPod Pros.
Oh, you got
That's
the
the
ugly
noise
ones.
cancellation.
Noise-
They come in the
I
things
heard
like
a great
this.
story
They are
about
ugly.
the whole VR thing. I want to hear this, but the VR, I'm going to stop pointing. No, the whole VRing, like watching porn, like the idea of having goggles on and having headphones on.
Risky.
And just
While nude.
I just don't think
wanking in
that's not
like
a problem. Hang on, you're not doing anything with this part of your face or your head when you're jerking off. So
your
why
housemate
not?
could just be like
Yeah,
watching.
risky.
Hey,
Why are you
I just
fucking with
wanted
your
to-
door open?
Okay, well, yeah. So that's the thing, I guess. So you've got
It's called privacy. You shut your door, put
Okay.
some music on,
No, that makes
light
sense.
a candle.
And so anyway, sexting has changed for you.
Yeah. I had my first proper like phone sex session.
And so, what does that entail?
Well, I was really drunk. I know, shock horror. I was really drunk and called him away home. And then before I knew it, I just never thought it was an actual thing, but it's a thing.
And so it's AirPods and then talking dirty while you're both masturbating?
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
Okay. And then is it like FaceTime or are you...
He was like, send me. I'm like, no one looks cute when they're who looks cute when they're masturbating?
And so what like in those scenarios, you're just wanting
Is it photos?
audio? Like, so what do you,
I
what are you
sent him
wanting?
some photos that I'd already taken where I looked cute.
Uh-huh.
So he had that as like a visual stimulus.
And then you
why
just...
am I, honestly, why?
What are the AirPods for?
It's a good
So you can still talk
question.
to them.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's audio.
So they can
It's just an audio.
Yeah, like a lot of
Okay.
heavy breathing, apparently.
And so I feel like heavy breathing would
Tommy
get
said
lost on
nothing
the
for
AirPods.
10 minutes.
It's annoying.
Tommy's like, I don't know, is this with consent? Where are we?
No, I was just thinking about Sebs has been wanking solo most of his life and he doesn't understand the AirPods.
I want to workshop this with Sebs because we've both got, a really big date coming up.
Mm.
Are you not at all nervous that it's not going to, because the guy that I'm talking to he's like, I don't know why you're worried. This is going to be great. I'm like, but what if it's not? What
Was
if
he
we
the
meet?
guy you phone sexted with?
Yes, he is. But what if we meet and it's like, we're just good friends. Like we just get along really well, but I actually don't want to jump your bones.
Well, we're going for a week away together.
Wow, that's really jumping right into it.
The day after she arrives.
That's ballsy, man. That's
Rod
ballsy.
from Airbnb is paying for it.
Yeah. Rod, bleak
Can I just tell you, my mum and dad got married 3 months after they met.
Oh, that's really beautiful.
And I think maybe it was my mum or dad. They dropped that they didn't have sex before they were married. And look, they're together.
I guess you have no choice,
40 years later,
Sebs, because you live at home. So you can't really have your own space if she came and stayed with you, could you?
I think, yeah. I mean,
he's got his own bedroom.
The fridge would be full though. It'd be great.
Wow,
Yeah, you got downstairs,
that makes me so anxious because my guy said something similar. He wanted to go away down the coast for a bit, and I was like, wait, being trapped with just, what if it doesn't work? It's just you and me in a quiet, sleepy town, and like that terrifies me. But you're down. You're all in.
Yeah. No, I'm excited.
And so, what's the worst case scenario?
Well, I've had so many bad ones. Like I've gone.
Yeah, but I think that's why you're thinking the way you are.
Well, yeah, because I'm so like the thing. Jen, my best friend Jen. She's like, I commend you so much because there's so many times I've gone, you know what, I'm just going to fly to XYZ and just give it a go, but it never works ever.
Yeah.
I'm sure yours will, but so I'm definitely nervous, for sure.
And so how long are you spending, like what have you dedicated to in regards to that time?
So I've got a date on Thursday night and then we're just going to play it by ear after that, depending on how that goes. Like he was down to like getting an Airbnb for the first 4 nights together. And I was like, what if you hate me? What if I hate you?
And so I guess, is it too presumptuous, say Sev's, Grace is his girlfriend now. Is it presumptuous to be like, here's my bed, you're sleeping?
Well, that's the thing, right? Like I want the option to be able to be like, what if I don't want to sleep with you on the first night? So if we had an Airbnb together.
You still have the option if you sleep in the same bed.
No, I know.
You don't have to tell
I don't know. It just panics me. Maybe I've just been alone for too long.
I think also being a female, I think it's like an extra layer of caution. That
I also just think I'm just self-sabotaging, really, which is like very on brand for me.
Self-sabotaging in the sense of he's saying all the right things. He's saying,
it's making me run away further away.
And so
the
do you
nicer
think
he is, the more I'm like, oh, can you not? Like yesterday he asked me what my favourite flower was. I'm like, please don't buy me flowers.
Really?
Please don't buy me flowers.
He could be putting one of the, what's the 40 days, 40 nights? Orchid or whatever. I mean, it is interesting. Like, so do you think that it's real fucked up. I remember when I was younger reading Assholes Finish First and went through like 2 weeks of just being a cunt to everyone.
Read the Game. Is it the Game?
No, so there's a guy, I've gone blank on his name from
Neil
Prosecco.
Strauss,
No, not Neil Strauss.
And don't ever blame the
Tucker Max.
Oh, yeah, Tucker Max.
Tucker Max is this sort of like, it'd definitely be cancelled in 2020, probably cancelled 10 years ago. But anyway, he would talk about these outrageous stories.
Isn't it called The Game? I thought the book was The Game.
The Game has negging and all that sort of thing.
Yeah, negging and peacocking.
Yeah. And so how much of it do you think is it real around the negative, like being drawn to negative energy?
I honestly, this is getting deep here, but I think it's more of a me thing, and I've been told by various psychologists that I, with thanks to a bunch of stuff in my past, my childhood, but also dating awful guys that treat me badly, I just believe that I'm hard to love. Mm-hmm. And so I date guys that reaffirm that treat me badly and don't want to be with me because I go, oh, see, I was right, I'm hard to love. So when I meet someone that's like, actually, I think you're really lovable, I think you're sweet and kind, and I want to see you and I want to get to know you and I want to spend time with you, I'm like, oh, whoa, what? You're a freak like that. You can't be all there in the head. And I just run and just date other guys that are like, no, actually, you are crazy, because that just confirms what I believe.
And so how do you get around that?
Lots of years of therapy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm trying to give it a chance, but I admire your bravery and you're just all in, because I'm there being like, oh, I might maybe give you an hour slot on Thursday and then never speak to you ever again. Like, even just like look at me, I'm like tearing up paper, thinking about it and sweating. Oh,
what is that? Which paper was that? That's not.
It was from the
it's the bottle.
Do you think that you have high expectations or low expectations of
I
people?
think it's going to be low.
Low.
I think everyone's going to let me down
Uh-huh.
always or abandon me.
Have we?
No, never. I mean, Mace has.
That's true.
Yeah, fresh off the back of the game.
Tully.
Yeah, I think a lot of people will be doing a lot of dating for the first. I mean, people have been talking online, not being able to meet, and it's going to be an interesting time, I think, for people who get to actually finally meet these people in real life.
I think you've actually got one of those bits of thing on your
got it on
shoulder.
your,
Yeah, you've
on
got
your
it
left
on
shoulder.
shoulder. Yeah, it's a look.
I can't. There's a
gone.
screensaver, so
Looks
I
like
don't even
gold
have a screen
flake.
right
Oh,
now.
Oh, yeah.
Looks like
This
gold
is- that's
flake.
a
There we
Georgie
go.
boy move if I've ever seen one.
Yeah.
All right, Tully.
Yeah,
we should definitely get you back on. It's good to hang out after
Yeah, it's always
after
good to see you
ISO.
guys.
What number is this? Third?
This is
fourth?
the fourth. Well, Tully joined us for Friday night drinks.
Oh, yeah. So we're
did.
adding that as a. So what?
If
that-
it is
I-
one, then it's
you
the
hated that.
it's the fifth.
I loved that.
Oh,
Hang on,
really?
I actually had a really good time doing
good.
that.
That's great.
We
I
should
loved that.
So Friday night drinks is on Friday.
It's
Will you
Friday,
come?
yeah.
I did.
She's
You know,
in-
I wasn't a huge fan of not always having the mic. I like being able to speak.
No,
whenever
I
want
felt
to
that.
speak.
I felt that.
Yeah.
I was vibing.
You and Jem
I want to
can
be
share.
able to speak. Yeah, Jem and I probably can't share a microphone. That's a terrible idea. No, but having to share the mic with like 12 other people, I'm like, wait, I have something to say again.
Yeah.
But it was
That's why
fun.
you need your own podcast. I tell you what. That's-
You're right. I do
You
my own
do.
podcast. I really should get onto
yeah,
that.
the Tully Show.
I should.
All right, it's a daily talk show. We'll go get some more Prosecco maybe.
Yes.
definitely.
I might even, like, it's funny. It doesn't take much for me to be like, I'm going to eat something naughty as well. Like, I just add one.
What are you thinking?
We've got hang on. We've got a 2:30 with the
hot chips,
accountant.
hot
How
chips.
much can we get in before then?
Hot chips. We can do it. We can
Hot
do it.
chips. Yum.
All right.
All right, guys. Love you. Thank you.
It's a daily talk show. See you tomorrow, guys. Have a good one.
See you guys.